Yeah, no, good. Happy days. That works. You right? You okay?
I'm great. I could see that you've already hit the button on me, mate.
That's how we roll.
That's how we do it. You've got to start somewhere.
Normally at 0.00.
There we go.
0.00. Yeah.
Welcome back, mate. Eh? Back.
Thanks.
Buongiorno. Yeah. Cruising around Italy, eh? Not bad work if you can get it, eh?
You know what?
Pretty good. Going to where are you going? I'm going to Italy, going to the Ferrari factory. Oh,
I got at least 2, maybe 3 messages last week from people going, I don't normally hate you.
Yeah, they say I hate you. Yeah, now I hate you.
But I pretty much hate you right now. Oh, thanks very much. Cheers.
Well, yeah. I actually got a bit of that. I don't know whether I overshared on my trip last year with Joe, but there were people saying I was prepared to unfollow you at some point because we were having such a good time. And
wasn't that when I encourage our listeners to say to do that?
Bludger, yeah, you did. Yeah,
I don't
but they saw through that. They saw through that. They did. No, they all said to a person. Trevor told me to say this. Yeah, they all dobbed you in. Yeah. Good on you. They're good. They're solid listeners we've got. See,
rock solid.
Solid, mate. That's great. Good to be home now, although we're off again next week.
I know, yeah.
Together this time.
I got home on Sunday morning.
Yep.
And then Sunday was busy. Oh, because Victoria had to go to the city, so I had to drive her to the city back. There was all this going on. And Amanda's not been well, so that's been great.
She okay? Yeah.
No, it's just, Victoria was sick, Amanda was sick. It's a great school holidays where they don't do anything.
Damn.
And... now we leave again. Like I'm literally back for six and a half days.
We're on the same trip this time too.
Yeah. You looking
invited
forward to that?
Invited separately. We invited as our own, but also we're going to record the podcast over there too, I guess.
I think we probably should, given we're together.
Yeah. No need to do the remote while we're overseas.
No.
Not our first rodeo recording overseas.
Correct.
Either, by the way.
Exactly. There's a long list of places we've nailed that.
Yes.
Next week we're away again with Amazon.
Guests of Amazon, yeah.
And then that should be it for the year.
Yeah, I can't see any others. Although you reckon there might be something that creeps in. You never know.
You know what? I think I just need to stay at home.
Yeah, I think for you do. Joe's encouraging me for some reason. Aren't there any more trips you can go on?
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Might want to change the locks, bro.
No, she's not. No, mate, we're solid. Solid as a rock.
And look, I'll say it up front, especially those people watching the YouTube video. If I'm looking like this, if you see my eyes looking this way, it's because there's a big television with the Dodgers on.
Yes.
Second game of
Trevor's
the
distracted
NLCS, which is the National League Championship Series, because the Dodgers are through to the Championship Series, which is basically the round before the World Series.
Yep.
And they're playing the Milwaukee Brewers. And then on the other side, the American League, the Toronto Blue Jays are playing the Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners are 2-up.
Right.
2-0 up.
Who did the Dodgers series. Beat last year in the
Phillies? Last year the Yankees, they're gone.
The Yankees gone.
They're already gone.
Yeah, that's right.
We the Dodgers won game 1 of 7 yesterday at the time of recording, and now we're currently playing game 2 of 7. So Stephen's going to hold this show.
If Trev gets nervous, yeah.
If there's any cheering in about 3 hours from now, it'll be because of that reason. So hopefully
3 hours. How long is the show going to go for?
Yeah, well, we should be in the middle of lunch by then, I think. But anyway, Teoscar Hernandez has just scored a home run for the Dodgers.
Has he really?
Level it up 1-1.
Wow. You've only got an 85-inch TV over there to look at, mate. You should be fine.
It's better than me putting it on. I could put it on here.
Yeah.
In front of me, like on my little monitor. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
You can stare at yourself rather than staring at yourself.
It'd be a breach of some rights to put it on the road. Maybe just bringing it up and making it part of the show.
Yeah, I don't. Well, now you pay the fees, mate.
But it's funny because you know that John Stanley and I text a lot about the baseball.
Yes.
And what's hilarious to me is him and I just. Like he's a fan of the sport like I am. Like obviously
baseball,
he's a Yankees fan, I'm a Dodgers fan, but just loves the baseball.
Yeah.
So like I'm in Italy and I'm up at 2 a.m. in the morning watching the games, and he's texting me and I'm like, dude, I should be asleep right now. And so it's just great to have someone else because obviously we chat as a family. Like Jackson's already texted about this game and those kind of things. But it's nice to have someone else that's kind of random in a sense to chat with about.
I watch when if it's on, I'll watch it, but I'm not as passionate as you and John are. But I remember John sat me down. We were just about to do our segment on Monday night, and he was telling me about the dramas with the Phillies. Remember he said they were bases loaded. The Phillies pitcher, instead of throwing it to first, he just threw it back to home plate, and they just had one bloke come in and it was game over.
Heartbreaking for that guy.
Yeah.
But honestly, that didn't lose them the game. There was more to it.
It led to them losing the
game.
But
mate, it's such a funny game, and this is why it's a challenge to say to people, "Oh, you should watch baseball," because it's complicated at times. But I would argue so is AFL. And so is rugby league. It's all got their rules. You go, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yesterday there was a play that occurred that we were all separate. Jackson was at South by Southwest, I think, with TAFE. Amanda was at home. I was here. And this thing happened that none of us could understand what had happened.
You couldn't understand it?
It was so complicated that the commentators didn't know what happened. They had to wait until they went to replays.
Wow.
So it looked like it was a catch in the outfield, but it wasn't. It bounced off the wall. And so for that reason, the other team were able to kind of tag him out.
Isn't it one-handed?
No, but it came off the wall, so it's not a catch.
So that's what we used to play cricket at home, one-handed off the wall.
And so because of that, they were able to get a double play and get the Dodgers out instead of being basically us scoring 2 or 3 runs.
You know what amazes me about...
And it was fascinating.
What amazes me about baseball is that how the game can turn as well. Yeah. Like I remember when we went to see the Yankees. Remember you left... Yeah. We went to see the Yankees playing... I think it was the Mariners they were playing. And the Yankees were... I think they were down 5-2 and triple play in the last innings. Boom, they're level into overtime. And they won in overtime, so they came back. It was like the biggest turnaround, and it was great to see that live. I remember John Stanley saying, he goes, I said, I was at that game. He goes, you're kidding me. I was there, mate.
Exactly. Yeah. And it happens so often. Yesterday, the Dodgers were up 1-0, and there was, I think it was 2-0, and then they were up 2-1, and then we changed pitches for the last innings, and they were looking like they were going to get us. Mate, it's
unbelievable.
I'm always fascinated. We might have already said this either here or in the private, but I'm always fascinated by Americans that leave the game.
Yeah.
Baseball is the game where anything could happen, unless it's 10-0.
Yeah, I've done that. I've left early when it's way ahead. The Yankees are way ahead, and
but mate, if it's 2-1 or 3-1 or even 4-1, a Grand Slam can do that.
Yeah.
But you watch a baseball game in the last innings or two, and you look at the behind home plate, and you go, why have all these people left? Why this? You got tickets behind home plate. They were the most expensive tickets.
But you wouldn't...
And you didn't stay for the whole game? Are you
wouldn't
mad?
Forgive you. I'll tell you what, that happened, or nearly happened, right? I remember years ago, the famous Souths comeback against the Roosters, right?
Right.
It was 2012. Souths were down. They were down. It was 24-12 with 2.5 minutes to go, right? It was 20. They were behind by 10. Anyway, off the kickoff, South score. So we were thinking, Souths are gone. There's 2 minutes to go. Should we go? I said, no, let's wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, off the kickoff, boom, South score. Off the kickoff, kick the goal. Next kickoff, South score. Off the kickoff, win the game.
What year was this?
2012, mate. That's been viewed on YouTube, I reckon, 3 million times. I reckon 1 million is me watching that again. Unbelievable. But you know what? So many people bolted and missed it and would have kicked themselves thinking, oh, my God, best comeback in history.
Wow.
Yeah. 2012 against the Roosters at the old Sydney Football Stadium.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Amazing.
Anyway, to the people that love to skip the sport and streaming part, you can skip it now because we'll get on with the show.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Not a bad price.
With Trevor Long from EFTM.com.
Really handy device.
And Stephen Fennick from TechGuide.com.au.
That's us, episode 704 of Two Blokes. Well, man, it's on repeat still. Jesus,
one good turn deserves another.
Hell.
One good turn deserves another.
Yeah, it does. 704.
Just say you didn't catch the first time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it happened in a previous episode, and I haven't fixed it. But if I hit the settings on this now, I'm just going to go...
now? Fix it now. Look at this.
It shouldn't. No, you know what? It's interesting. It's not set to loop.
Unbelievable,
It's set to come back...
Could you get your money back
to
in that
camera 4. This is outrageous.
Unbelievable.
I'm definitely going to appeal to the people that wrote about that because I've got it set to switch. At the end,
are we not the ultimate guinea pigs for them? Haven't they? You've been giving them a lot of feedback, haven't you, about this?
I think they've
stopped
listening.
The Roadcaster video and all that sort of stuff, eh?
They might have stopped listening.
Really? Talking it to a wall now, eh? Okay.
Yeah. Right. I mean...
Yeah, okay.
They took some feedback early on, but I think that might have moved on now.
Right.
Anyway, thanks to the great people at Arlo and Netgear. We appreciate their support, and we appreciate your support of Two Blokes Talking Tech. It is episode 704.
704.
Yes, it is. And I'm now wondering whether the auto switching's even working because it's staying on the wide shot.
It was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was? Well, I'll just make sure it's on. Anyway.
Is it on there? No, now it's on.
It is now.
There you go, mate. Oh, who's that handsome bloke? Oh, that's me. Okay. Oh, hang on, there's Trev. Good luck.
Oh, the ugly one.
Who's that, Trevor? Here we go.
We'll tell you more about Arlo and Netgear shortly, but Stephen, there's a few things to talk about with regards to the social media world, the social media ban, Instagram, YouTube, and a bit. So let's unpack it. Now, I know we've covered this ad nauseum over a long time, but to be clear,
it's a gift that keeps on giving.
It's 2 months away from being implemented. Plus, there's some
less than 2 months.
There's some things happening. So, and for the purpose of this great show, I have done some preparation.
What?
And I have prepared B-roll.
Oh my God!
I mean, this is unbelievable.
Okay, wow.
So only for the YouTube audience, but theoretically this will work. Although I'll need to turn off auto switching again.
Okay.
And theoretically, this button here plays the Instagram video for the teen account. So what they've introduced is a new set of essentially controls over what kids will see on Instagram. And the smart thing is they're linking it to the PG-13
They're
ratings
basing it around
in America.
movie type ratings, similar to movie ratings.
And so the teen accounts have existed for a year or so, and what they learnt was that essentially parents were a bit confused by some of the settings, some of the ways it worked and stuff like that. This will loop, so we'll show it a couple of times and then we'll let it go. But basically they've changed it so now there's a PG-13 is the principle for which content is served to kids. So
What
if you're
a great
teenager,
idea.
brilliant.
That we suggested 2 years ago.
Exactly. So if you identify an account as being a teenager, why would you send them anything that's adult based? And that's what they're saying. They're saying we've got the technology to work out what content is and isn't adult based. So why don't we restrict what kids see based on the general methodology of PG-13?
Well, that's a really good thing to do. Good luck to them for doing that. The timing of it for Australian users it's not the best, but obviously there's the rest of the world to think about. And this means that similar to what you would say if you went to see a PG-13 movie, similar things to what you would see in that movie is what is age appropriate for your account.
That's
so if you're 13, PG-13, and I'm assuming as you get older, it'll become an M rating and all.
No, so to be clear, there's PG-13 and nothing else.
Right.
And it's American PG-13, not Australian PG. So we have PG, we have M, we have MA15+. Because I said to them yesterday, I said, listen, that's great and applause, but as a parent of 14 and 15-year-olds, I'm letting them watch M content already. There's no drama there.
Because that's what aimed at 15-year-olds.
And we might let them watch an MA15+. We make that decision. Do we want them to watch this movie, right?
Yes.
These ratings are purely PG-13, which I did some research yesterday. It appears to me that PG-13 is a kind of mix of our PG and our M.
Yeah.
Right?
That's American PG, because we've got PG here.
Yeah, so this is
and we've
all
got M.
based on the American PG-13.
So you're saying it's an amalgamation of PG and M as the
is my broad way of telling you how PG-13 works.
There may be sort of sexual type depictions.
Yeah, like there's the odd swear word, but not too many and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's not PG-13 rated, so no video is rated a certain way. It's just a principle. So they don't even use the term PG-13 on the Instagram app. But what they're doing is trying to give parents the concept of rating systems. They're also allowing parents, and you would have seen it if you're watching the YouTube in that clip, they're allowing them to actually even further limit it and go backwards even more and say, well, I want it even stricter.
Yeah.
And for
so that
teens,
way they don't see the comments or anything, do they?
And for teens, they're making it so teens can request to go up, but that it requires the parent's approval. Now, the critical thing there is if they determine that an account is a teenager, they automatically put them on the teen system. But what they don't do is allow that teen to change their content settings unless that teen links a parent account.
Right.
So they're actually doing they're doing the right thing by teenagers and by parents by automatically determining if an account is a teenager, automatically restricting the content they see, and not allowing that teenager to change the content unless they put a parent onto their account.
And this isn't an opt-in approach, This is everyone now.
This
is you're a teenager, teen account.
If we detect that you're a teen, this is what you get.
So they've got age verification technology.
Well, age assurance, age estimation technology. They've always had it.
Yes.
They're just tweaking it and making it better, and that's what they're going to use for Australian teens.
So you're saying that if a teen account, it's ruled by the PG-13/PGM for us. So if you're 17 and you don't have your own account, you've got a teen account that's sort of ruled by your parent, you're able to get out of that.
If you're 17 and and you don't link it to a parent, you're stuck with the teen account.
Right. But what about if
they
you had...
think you're a teenager?
Because that was only introduced a year ago, right? So if you were 16 when you started your account, you'd still be right there, wouldn't you? Before the teen account. So if you had an account pre the teen accounts on your own, you were 16, you started your Instagram account.
No, you're a teenager. If you're 16 or 17.
But now they've...
If you are today
everyone's forced
16
into it.
or 17, you're on a
everyone's
teen
forced
account.
into it. Okay.
Correct.
Right, okay.
It's not a type of account. It's a label on an account.
Right.
You know, think of it like a verified badge, you know? If you're paying for the badge or you got the badge in any other way, it's there. It's on your account. The teen is like a label on an account, but it's not broadcast.
And so how do you get out of it? The parent's got to let you out of it.
Well, you can't get out of it. You're always a teen until you turn 18.
18, right.
But to be able to modify your settings, the parent has to be linked and the parent has to approve the changes and make the changes. But the other thing is a teenager can now be restricted from viewing adult accounts as well.
Yeah.
So let's be real.
Even if someone shares inappropriate content.
Well, let's just deal with accounts first. But so if there's a girl who's created an OnlyFans and she's creating explicit content, but it's not in breach of any of their rules because that's what they do.
It's risque, but not in breach.
But there's a link to an OnlyFans. That account is not going to be visible to teenagers.
Right.
So that account not visible to teenagers. If there's previous content that they've been sharing in DMs, they won't be able to view that content
gone as well. Yeah. So now they've dropped the wall down on pretty much. There's no getting around it, is it? It's like it's complete protection. And if that, they can't even access accounts that have in the past shared inappropriate content either. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Your watch is still not on silent, Stephen.
I thought it was.
No. So, it's a really strict lockdown. It really is. They've also restricted search. So if kids try and search for things like alcohol or gore, it'll stop them from seeing any content.
Suicide and self-harm and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what the limit will be. And, Josh from The Guardian was on the call with me yesterday. He was asking whether they were going to restrict any terminologies that were related to the LGBT community, worrying that, teenagers searching for, help and information might be restricted by seeing stuff. They said no, but I'm sure someone's going to find a word that's restricted that is portrayed as being educational, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But
yes,
look, you can't not applaud Instagram for this, but what you got to do is go,
why didn't you do this 3 years ago?
Well, I remember, I found an article I wrote in 2021 where it was rumored they were talking about having an Instagram teen app, so a separate app for kids, an Instagram kids app, and then they went and bugger that, we're just going to do this account thing. And they've been working on it for a long time before it was introduced a year ago. And let's be clear, they've been working on this a long time before Australia was discussing a social media ban.
Okay, true, that's true.
I want to be real clear about that. Instagram was planning this long beforehand. And my point is, this is where the government stuffed up. They should have forced this kind of thing upon the social media platforms. I've always said...
we said, mate, and I can hear myself saying it, this should have been made into the platform's problem, not our problem. They should have said that unless you do this, no one will be on it. It's either this or no one is on your platform. Right?
Yeah.
So... and just to be clear, my story is about too late for Australian users, and you mentioned the fact that in 2 months there's this ban. This is going to mean nothing to anyone under 16, right?
Yes.
But the rest of the world, don't forget, it's a big place. This isn't just for Australian users. That's right. This is the whole world.
They basically can use this kind of thing now to any other government and say, listen, why would you do that when you can
you do this? You know what, that's a good point, because there is talks of countries in Europe taking this on, the UK, and Instagram has got a really good reply here saying, well, hang on, before you go that far, look at what we've done here.
So the final 2 lines in my article about this were, parents should be given choice. If I choose to let my teen on, it should be me who has the responsibility and they get access if I link it to my account. So if Victoria is 15, she's going to be 9 months without social media. I, as a parent, should be able to say, no, I've linked my account to hers. She's getting the teen experience on TikTok and on Instagram. Yep. I should have the right as a parent. But the government wants to take parental responsibility away. Go figure.
So you were saying TikTok's got a similar thing?
TikTok's got
they've got really good parental controls, haven't they?
I think it's better than Instagram.
Well,
so this is the problem: is parents don't know this stuff exists. But if what you did was you forced the platforms to identify teens through age assurance and age verification, whatever methods they're going to do, and block teens unless authorised by a parent, then you would have essentially a social media ban for 100% of teens, and then over the course of a week, those teens would go, Mum, Dad, can you link? And if Mum and Dad don't have an Instagram account, bad luck.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the
fault.
parent that doesn't get to get involved.
Let me ask you this then. Do you think that the platforms, say Meta in this case and others, would have a case to come back to the Australian government and say, look, I know the ban is happening now. It's probably already happened. Would you reconsider it with these measures in mind, that we maybe take the foot off the gas a bit and let us
we
get
know
back?
there's going to be a review of the social media ban after 12 and 24 months, because there has to be. You got to look at these things and make sure they're working. Maybe that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're hoping for.
Well, do you think that maybe then we're sort of, putting it on the Aussie government? Do you think that their move has kind of accelerated this? You know what? Maybe full credit to the Australian government for pushing it so hard and forced their hand a bit.
Forcing Instagram's hand, as you say. Perhaps. But Instagram has been doing this for much longer, and their core focus is America, let's be real.
But what it is, I know Meta and Instagram are the same company. Facebook doesn't really have a... It's not really a teen hangout Facebook. It's a mum and dad's platform,
and
Facebook.
Grandparents' platform. I don't use Facebook.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I looked at Facebook.
Sorry.
It's a grandparents' platform.
Yeah, I'm not a grandparent, mate.
Close.
Yeah. But
no news.
Nothing to report. But what's the other one? So TikTok's already taken pretty much full responsibility of the parent.
Like if you wanted a parent of teenagers' opinion, a digitally savvy, tech savvy teenager parent of teenagers' opinion on the platforms, I'd say as long as you set up TikTok and Instagram correctly as a parent, they're a great place for kids.
No problem. Yeah.
Because I watch Harry. Mate, Harry will sit, and it's cute as hell to see Harry on his phone and giggling.
Yeah.
And I go, what are you looking at? And he'll show me, and it's the dumbest thing.
And it's innocent stuff.
It's a stupid meme dog. It's not bad.
It's not harmful.
Because I think. And Instagram made this point to me yesterday. They kind of said, I can't remember exactly what they said, but they're also doing this thing where parents, older people they deem that could be in the age group of being parents, scrolling through will also, when you scroll through and it says, have you seen an ad for whatever? You scroll through to ask you about the content. If you scroll past something, it'll say, do you think this content would have been appropriate for? And it'll give you age group.
Okay.
And so what they're trying to do is not only get input from people, but also try and let people realise they believe that a lot of parents think that it's the same for everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of parents think what they're seeing on Instagram is what their kids are seeing.
Yeah, no,
Breaking news,
Joe
mate,
and I had this conversation today.
Your kids are not seeing the same thing you're seeing.
But even like Joe and myself, what we see on that, we're seeing totally different. She was saying to me, she goes, have you seen all that stuff about Megan Muck? I went, no. She went,
not at all.
Your algorithm is a lot different to mine.
Yeah. And that, these parents have done, I think, I'll be honest, I think 90% of politicians have no idea that it's a different experience for kids even before Instagram teens. Yeah. I think they don't realise that every individual, let alone every demographic and age group, gets a different experience.
My question about this too is that who determines what's PG-13?
Well, no, that's algorithmic. It's
so what. Everything's open to interpretation, right?
Of course.
What you think is PG-13, maybe if it's on the cusp, is that why those little questions appear?
Of course. They're always going to be trying to fine-tune their algorithm, fine-tune their AI. Yeah. But in the end, it's not. Let's be clear. When a movie is released around the world, that movie has to be sent to Australia to the classification board, and the classification board have to watch it and go, he said the F word 6 times. Yes. That's too many for PG.
And that's different in different countries.
Exactly.
It's surprising how much they're different.
Human beings watch it and rate it. On a television platform, someone watches The Bachelor or Married at First Sight, and they will edit out things to make sure that it can meet the rating that they want to achieve.
Got to get the 7:30 slot.
It has to meet criteria. And then essentially the TV network signs off on it having that rating. Yeah. And if they breach the guidelines, they are fined or in other way prosecuted.
Listen to how we're talking here, right? Shouldn't the platforms, the government should establish the same thing and adhere to the same rules as TV?
Why didn't they?
We've been saying it for ages.
This to Luke Boner on Triple M Overnights 2, 5, 10 years ago, whenever.
Yeah.
Like the fact that YouTube and Instagram and all these things have so much content that is not rated is insane.
Exactly, yeah, I know.
TV,
It's crazy.
why is it why can't Channel 9 just go, you know what, we're just going to put anything on? Because there's guidelines.
Yeah.
So put the guidelines,
Make the guidelines
on these platforms.
Yeah, make it.
It might be cheaper for them to create the AI to rate stuff than it is to implement this age assurance stuff.
Unbelievable.
And, you know, put the onus, although I will say the problem is the ratings and review process is still not adequate. I saw a piece of content the other day that was a naked woman with body painting. You know how they paint, they're nude and then they get painted. So I didn't see the painting happening.
Looking through my feed again.
Totally. and so I thought to myself, that's inappropriate content, shouldn't be on Instagram, right? Now, I'm always interested in the review process, so I reported it as sexual content. And I came back and said, no, it's not.
No, it's not. doesn't breach community guidelines.
I went, well, you saw something different than I did.
Yeah, I know, mate. But again, that's what I was asking. Who does the rating? It's subjective. It's subjective to what you think's offensive. Someone might say, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Should we talk about YouTube? You mentioned YouTube earlier.
Yeah.
Now, YouTube, funny enough, have also made an announcement today that they've announced teen mental health support for Australia. For Australian users. They've announced the newest offering for teens and families, mental health and wellbeing content in a dedicated surface built just for teen streaming, which we're rolling out in Australia in the coming weeks. Again, less than 2 months out from the ban. YouTube was sucked into the social media ban, kicking and screaming. They were dragged into it, into the whole thing. So now when teens seek out information on topics like depression, anxiety, ADHD or eating disorders, they will now see a dedicated shelf of age-appropriate videos from trusted sources. Isn't that the point of the ban of the government? All that stuff that self-image and all that sort of stuff that they wanted to help stamp out. YouTube said, well, you know why you were banning the social media platforms? Well, we're just going to give you a solution to that months after you've banned us. So, again, is this an attempt for YouTube to say, look, we can play nicely.
They're all scrambling to get what they're not going to get.
Which is an exemption. Yeah. Well, they're not going to make it this time, but do you reckon there's still a legal avenue for them to take, maybe, or no?
I can't imagine them doing that. Yeah. I really can't.
But if they rock up to the government and say, look, all the reasons you're banning us for, we've got an answer to that now. Would they have a case in the review in 12 months' time? Is there a review? Is it a minimum of 12 months?
12 and then 24.
Right.
Yeah.
Would they have a case, just like Instagram and the other platforms? Would they have a case?
Well, because there is an exemption in the safety rules, because it's stupid. There's legislation, there's rules, there's different things. Yeah. But there's an exemption for platforms that have some sort of age appropriateness, but that's for a whole platform, not for a part of a platform. So I think that's what they're trying to angle for. It's
funny how we're getting all these stories like less than 8 weeks out from the ban, and it seems they're scrambling. I know Instagram's those teen accounts have been around for a little bit, and it's an international thing, not just for Australians, but it's going to be really interesting to see that they seem to be making these moves on the eve of this ban to potentially give themselves a case to get an exemption from the ban.
And you know what? Look, as we said earlier, if the government has pushed them towards this, then all the better.
It's successful.
Right? Great.
Yeah.
But the fact that if that happens in any way, shape or form in the next 12 months, it'll be like, well, you're not listening to them in the first place? Yeah. Like, that's what they were saying. That's what they were trying to say.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of... Anyway, look, it'll be fascinating to see how that plays out in broad terms. But the other thing that's happened I saw it on the Today Show this morning. They were kind of talking about... They didn't really cover it, and it was frustrating in that sense, but they said teenagers are starting to find their way around the ban by changing the name on their account to their parents. Kids. Look, I don't want to break it to you. That's not going to be enough.
That's not going to work.
Okay. My daughter kept coming to me going, is this real, Dad? And so she would show me like an Instagram story or a TikTok story of someone who's a kid, obviously, and they'd just be putting up a note saying, this account is managed by a parent. Do you remember all over the years on Facebook, people would put up these texts, they'd copy and paste texts I refuse to hand over legal rights to my photos, yada, yada, yada.
Good luck.
Not legal. And so I said to my daughter, I said, that's A, stupid, B, won't work, and C, not true.
Yeah.
So the kids are trying to say, because kids thought that parents managing your account meant you could keep your account.
Yeah.
So Victoria's like, so
Not
because
so.
you manage my account, do I get to keep my account? I went, absolutely not.
Sorry, babe. Is that what you said?
Absolutely not.
Sorry, mate.
It's just not happening.
Yeah.
So kids are lost. They don't know what's happening. They're
going to still try to get around it, though. There'll be other ways for
mate,
them to try it.
Kids are going to be up in arms on the 12th of December, and parents are not going to know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And mate, Albo can say all he likes that we're taking the responsibility away from parents, but dude, you're putting kids off their phones in the middle of the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, right at the start of the Christmas holidays.
Start on like the 15th of December, right?
Unbelievable.
So
that'll be fun.
Parents have got 6 weeks of withdrawals without school.
Oh man!
But you know my point. Like, if you were going to do it smart, you'd go, well, kids not meant to use their phones at school anyway. So why don't we make it school time, so that it's only after school they're going to miss their phones or miss their social media.
Right.
But instead, they're going to be thrown deep into school holidays.
Well, they'll just go. They'll still be on Messenger and on all those messaging apps and gaming, playing
and
games.
Again, we don't know which platforms are actually covered because there's no list. Do you know there's a flow chart? Have we talked about this?
No.
I've got a copy of the flow chart for the social media ban. I must try and find it. My God, I don't know how I'll do it. But essentially, it's a flow chart that was published by the eSafety Commissioner, and this is for companies to use to follow work out whether or not they are part of the ban. It's literally a flow chart. Yeah, it's hilarious.
So wouldn't these companies have been contacted already? So by the way, on December 10, wouldn't they already
know? The government and the eSafety Commissioner are not creating. They're not saying any company is involved. They're not saying Instagram. They're just saying to any company in the world. So Tech Guide, EFTM, anyone with things, you've got to follow this flow chart and go, am I a social media?
Jeez.
There's no list.
Mate, I can't afford a $49.5 million fine.
Yeah, samesies. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but we're not social media platforms.
I know, but
we should have the traffic of a social media platform, but anyway.
I'm not going to find it, but it's
That's
a
weird.
hilarious.
How do you reckon Annika Wells is handling all this?
Look, my problem is Albo, Annika Wells, all of them. They're using, what do they call them? Grabs. They're just talking in grabs.
Yeah,
This is great for parents. It's taking the responsibility away from parents. It's keeping our teenagers safe. It's yada, yada.
Some parents are offended that they're taking their responsibility away from them. Like,
I am.
Isn't that part of the deal? Like,
I'm
that's
absolutely
part of your job
offended.
as a parent, is you managing that.
Why, as a parent, am I not allowed to parent my kids?
It just fascinates me, and I've said this on the radio a few times. We have chats on, various stations that I do have segments on, and it's my approach is, well, hang on, has the government discovered that there's disturbing things on the internet? The internet's been around 30 years, mate. Has the government only just realised now that there's stuff on the internet that could offend people and bother people? Like,
it's crazy.
Do you remember when porn was the big deal about the internet and how easy it is to access porn, which still is, by the way, like this social media ban? That's what these teenagers do. Instead of being on social media, they just go to the porn sites.
Yeah, but as of December, later in December, which is not talked about.
With the age verification.
There's also age verification, which applies to those sites.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So there's a great, I don't know if it's great because I haven't finished watching, but Shane Gillis's best mate, Matt McCusker, has a new special on Netflix. And he talks about, because in Texas and in some states of America, you have to upload your ID to get access to
watch Chicken and Corn.
Yeah. And so he talks about how
get your mother to verify.
He talks about using his wife's ID and giving her a black name in the. But he talks about pulling out your own ID and then that being a real downer.
Yeah,
like it's a bit off-putting.
Slightly depressing.
See your own photo and then think, you know what, I might just go to Tech Guide instead. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah. No porn there, mate.
It's a very, very good. It's a good bit. But people in Australia are going to lose their minds when they are put through a verification process,
really?
Which may or may not result in you asking for your ID.
Rock up to Pornhub and you go, whoa, hang on a minute, I should be seeing stuff now, but you're now blocked.
No, you're not going to as of January. Yeah, you're going to have to.
So what do you have to do?
Well,
can you just tell me just for future reference?
If you're logged in, if you've got an account, they'll know how old you are because of what you've viewed.
Okay.
Because kids will, like social media.
Yeah.
In pornography, kids will search for something different.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, your knowledge,
your taste,
your tendencies, your tastes are different as a child, right?
Yep.
So they can work it out as well. But if you're not logged in, why would you log in? Why would you have an account?
Special offers,
That's
mate.
the weirdest. Special offers. Anyway,
I'm not logged in.
If you're not
okay. I have a nameless account. No,
If you're not logged in,
what do you call that when you don't have an account? Where you just not naked?
Anonymous.
Well, you're anonymous.
Yeah.
You're
Don't
anonymous.
use the term naked.
Yeah, don't use that term. Yeah.
Anyway, they'll use their
You've got to
age.
get your mum. I'll ring Doris and say, Mum, do you reckon you can verify me?
Can I get your driver's license
What's
number?
this site mean? What's
What's
Pornhub
the
mean?
card number of your site, Mum?
What does this mean, Stephen?
You text me a card number. So yeah, that's going to happen.
Wow.
But you know, the kids, they're going to use age verification the same way that kids are going to be kicked out of social media.
Oh, it took them 30 years to get a go. That's great.
But they're literally 30 years behind.
Exactly. I remember it's this year. It was because my daughter turned 30. Jackie turned 30 in February, and I remember we had the internet connected 1 week before she was born.
Yeah, we've talked about
in
it.
February 1995.
Yeah, crazy.
30 years.
They're good times.
And yeah,
I remember the internet before we had it. It was just dial up and.
Oh, it was amazing. But just I don't think you can replicate the wonder for your explaining it to your kids now.
Nah.
Of the thing, hang on my computer screen showing stuff that's not on my computer.
Well,
it was just remarkable.
That's the other thing, and sorry, Albo will never understand this, but the joy I get from seeing Harry, so he's lying on the lounge, he should be sitting up straight, maybe he's not going, whatever. But he'll sometimes be lying off the lounge with his head down on the floor. And I'm like, he's just loving life right now because he's scrolling through some hilarious things, right? Yeah. And the cackle you hear from the other room, the memes they send each other, that's socialising.
Exactly.
Harry's got a group of mates called Av Geeks, and some of them don't live here. They live in Byron Bay.
In aviation.
Yeah. And they share, I'm sure they share reels and TikToks about planes, right? Why should he be deprived of that? That's not fair.
What's to stop? Let's use the AV geeks as an example, right?
Yep.
What's to stop a site popping up where, if you're an aviation enthusiast, log on to this site. We share
There's
content.
nothing to stop anyone creating another app.
What's
at all?
Yeah, as long as it's all. If you're into Star Wars, then go to a Star Wars site. You share with other Star Wars fans. If you're an aviation fan, go to an aviation site. Share with them. Do you reckon that maybe they even already exist? And people are going to discover, they go, oh wow, we can share stuff and find content about this stuff here which we didn't realise. So do you reckon they'll suddenly be a big deal?
I think so.
Like those sort of forums type sites?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to try and find this flow covered by the legislation.
Oh, so now you're saying that they could be considered a social media platform? Come on. Come on.
So the reason
everything's a social media platform there.
What I'm annoyed about is that computer over there has it on a tab open right now.
That's all right.
Can you do that on Chrome? Can I view other open tabs? Isn't there a thing that does that?
Why don't you go and look at it?
Tab
go and look at it. I'll mind the fort.
Lists.
I'll mind the fort for a second if you want.
Just talk about social media for 2 seconds, okay?
Okay, go mate, go. So look. If the site if the sites existed that like a forum site, so I see a lot of sites, like I use sites like that for like my astrophotography, some great forum sites. You share your photos and you share your methods, share how did you capture that, how long, all that information you find. So that would apply not only for astrophotography, but if you're a Star Wars fan or a Souths fan or a Dodgers fan, there'd be forums like that where you'd still get the sort of content you would have received on social media, but now you're saying that suddenly that's going to be considered a social media platform and you need to be 15, 16 and over?
It depends whether you talk forum or app, right? So forums, I've talked about it. Like I think that Discord is going to be a place kids flock to. If you've got WhatsApp open on your computer.
So I'm open on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, on your computer, I sent you the flow chart. So here's the flow chart, right? And this is literally from the government. Step 1 is the service an electronic service. So a forum or a new app with aviation videos, yes. Yep. Step 2 is any of the material accessible to end users in Australia? Yes.
Yeah.
Step 3, does the service allow end users to post material?
Yes.
A forum? Yes. Step 4, does the service allow end users to link to or interact with other end users? So yeah, I'm going to mention mates. I'm going to
yes.
Step 5, what is the purpose of the service? B, does the purpose include enabling online social interaction between 2 or more users? Well, I mean,
What?
yes,
Okay, yeah, of course.
sharing videos with mates. Yes,
Well,
it does.
What's wrong with that? Yeah.
Step 6, is the online social interaction the sole purpose or a significant purpose? Well,
No.
Well, hang on. Yes,
Well,
that's
sharing and view your experiences and content, is that social purposes?
I'm doing it for the purpose of online social
Well, mate, well,
interaction
then
with my aviation mates.
Close down the internet then, mate, because everything's social interaction.
Step 7, is the service excluded under the rules because it has the sole primary purpose of enabling messaging by email, voice or video? No, maybe. Enabling online games? No, maybe. Enabling sharing of information about products or services? Probably not.
Yes. Well, yeah.
No, products and services is like a business thing.
Well, I mentioned the forums I visit are the astrophotography. And, mate, you're talking about telescopes and how much is that? The camera?
So you're excluded. You're
stuff.
excluded. Professional networking, like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Supporting education or supporting health. Now, the AvGeek one, you could argue education. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe you'd go with that. Or it has the significant purpose of facilitating communication between educational institutions or health providers. If you answer no to that step 7, you're restricted.
Mate, we've become a nanny state.
There it is.
That is ridiculous.
There it is.
You know, like everything's social interaction. Everything. So that means that's the sad byproduct of this ban, is that there's going to be sites banned that weren't considered, that never considered themselves to be social media platforms, that are suddenly banned.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm going to clear the diary for December 10, 11, 12, because there's going to be a massive storm over this. There'll be a lot of sites that are pulled off.
I think we saw there was word a week or so ago about Discord putting up some tests about like asking your date of birth or your age and stuff, because I think they're worried that they're going to be covered, so they have to start collecting details of people to kick them out.
Messenger still exempt from this?
No, because it's a messaging. So the enable if the sole or primary purpose is enabling messaging, email, voice, or video calling.
That's a
which is why
purpose.
WhatsApp gets around it.
Well, yeah, of course.
But Snapchat does not. Even though,
because you can share, you can share photos and stuff on WhatsApp and that.
No, but it's primarily it's primarily one-to-one.
Yes,
and you can't even make a group on WhatsApp that's bigger than like 200 people. So broadly, it is actually quite restricted. But see, for Snapchat, the hilarious thing is that I think Snapchat's disgusting. I think it's the worst app because parents can't control it, right?
Yeah.
And when I look at it, if I open it up and I go to the kind of story part, it's just full of just horrible stuff. Not horrible, but it's just childish, stupid bikini stuff. It's just horrible, right? Whereas what the kids use it for is messaging.
Yeah.
So actually, like my daughter, we were picking up a friend of hers to take her to netball. We're parked out the front. I'm going, where is she? She goes, I don't know. I said, call her. She goes, I don't have a number. I went, well, how are you getting in touch with her? She goes, I just Snapchat her. Like they literally don't share phone numbers. They just have Snap.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's how they communicate.
Yeah, wow.
So Snapchat is primarily a messaging platform, and they tried to argue that. Yeah. But in reality, because of some of the content there and the way it works, it is a social media app.
Nice try, yeah.
But the way, you know what? Because that's the way they know their users are using it.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to look at many services that you use.
Wow, that's a worry, mate. That's a worry.
And so if a aviation group app is created where you can share that stuff, and it just turns into a place where you can all share videos, then I think
you're saying that only applies to apps, not to websites?
No, because it's not just apps. Because remember the first question is it an electronic service? So I think a forum is covered by that.
Everything's like a service. Wow.
I think a forum is covered by that.
So under 16.
Which is why, frankly,
so the forum won't get pulled down. It'll be under 16s can't use it.
So why is Reddit not included? Let's do Reddit. Is it an electronic service?
Yes.
Yes. Is it available to Australians? Yes.
Yes.
Can end users post material? Yes.
Yes.
Does the service allow end users to link, interact with other users? Yes. You can mention, you can comment.
Of course it does.
What's the purpose of the service, and is it enabling? Does the purpose include enabling online social interaction between two or more users?
Yes.
Yes. Is online social interaction the sole purpose or a significant purpose?
Yes.
You think so for Reddit?
Reddit, of course.
Okay. Yep.
You go there to find information and interact with people.
But no.
Get opinions.
But is it so it is.
You get opinion, mate. How many? My Reddit queries have been, is this a better 3D printer than that one? So you're getting opinions.
Okay.
People are interacting.
It's online social interaction.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Reddit, we'll use the word, is Reddit excluded because it has the sole primary purpose of enabling messaging, email, voice? No. And video games? No. Sharing information about products or services is not its primary purpose.
No, it's not.
It's more about sharing links and information and videos and photos because, as I discovered recently, when you log into the Reddit app and you go searching, boy, oh boy, is there some content on there.
Yeah. And if you're logged in, you can access.
Talk
if you've
about
got an
chicken
account,
and corn.
Yeah. If you're logged in, you're 18 plus.
Yeah.
Because I log in. I don't think I've got an account, but I'm not logged into it. So whenever a search takes me to Reddit, it pops up to say if you need to sign in if you want to view content over 18.
Okay, so let's just say it's not primarily enabling products or services.
Yeah.
It's not professional. It's not supporting education, although they may argue that. But it's not supporting health.
Yeah, how did YouTube with
and
that?
it's mate, I think Reddit is a social media platform.
Mate, you know what? The lawyers are going to have a field day because that can be interpreted in many different ways.
I know.
Interpretation in that one, the lawyers are going to have a field day. They're going to get rich. The lawyers are going to get rich.
Man.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that wild?
It is.
We get a field day with that.
Yes.
All right, we've had a field day talking social media, as we always do. It's a hot topic.
It is.
And it's not going to go away.
Button issue.
Hot button issue on Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Two Blokes Talking Tech is proudly supported by Arlo. They've got some great new products in market, pan and tilt cameras, and they've also got their Essential range and their Ultra and all the great security cameras and bundles and all of that there. But you know what? What brings them all together are the plans, the subscription plans, which start from as little as $6.67 per month. So for that, you're getting some smart notifications. You can you can have storage of your videos up to 30 days up in the cloud, and also, too, there is now, you can not only have your smart notifications, but you can also have smart identification. So it doesn't say a person is at the front door. It says Joe Fennick's at the front door, or Stephen Fennick's at the front door, or Hayley Fennick's at the front door. So you're able to do that. Also, safety features, too, like flame detection and audio detection, too. If there's any, hopefully this will never happen. There are no gunshots and sirens going off, but it also looks after that as well. So if you want to really complete the whole system, having the hardware is your first step. But also being able to see those smart notifications, view your video and event history, those interactive notifications, which notifications now come with captions. Like I find I'm really interested in reading the description of some of my notifications sometimes. Yeah. Save me having to actually watch the video, although I do that anyway. So that all comes as a benefit for being a part of their secure plan. You do get, is it 30-day free trial when you buy a camera? So you can try it out for yourself if you bought a new Arlo. Check it out, and I highly recommend you keep that plan because it adds all those extra features. So check it out for yourself at arlo.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
All right, I got a gripe. Qantas, the hackers went on the dark web last week and they said, by the way, it wasn't Qantas they were targeting, though. It was more Salesforce.
Qantas was one of a group of companies.
Because obviously Salesforce was the software system that they breached. So they were asking Salesforce to pay a ransom.
Yep.
There was, I think, 20 or 30 companies listed. Yeah. We're talking Toyota,
McDonald's,
Walmart, McDonald's.
A lot of big companies,
Gap,
mainly American
Mainly American,
customers,
a couple of others, so Vietnam Airlines, Qantas, and a couple of others. And but in their Telegram group where they were just whinging and complaining about the world, they were targeting Australia a little bit. There was a lot of anti-Australia sentiment. Anyway, I looked at the ransom note. I saw all the sample data they had out there. And then come the end of the week, no one paid the ransom, so they released 6 sets of data, one of which was Qantas.
Right.
Qantas would be the biggest name.
So
Vietnam
that's
Airlines
5.7 million people's data.
Is what it said.
From Qantas.
And so, mate, when the Optus hack happened, when Medibank happened, I'm using everyone I can find and know in the underworld to get access to this information. No, yeah. You know, where do I find this? Because the dark web's not a place you can just search. You've really got to be sent somewhere.
It's not like Google, is it? Yeah.
So I'm in the chat group with the hackers. I'm on their dark website. I can see the data, and I go to download it, and I go, wasn't there a story I read somewhere about Qantas taking out an injunction about people viewing the data? And I thought I might just check that. So I spoke to Qantas, and they sent me a copy of their court order.
Right.
They obtained a court order, which is the wildest thing because it's basically, it says the Supreme Court of New South Wales, the plaintiff is Qantas Airways, the defendant is persons unknown.
What?
Can you believe that? Now, you talk about nanny state. Let's just talk about this for a minute.
Yeah.
Persons unknown, which is obviously directed broadly at the hackers. But
they like following the law, don't they?
Yeah. And you don't know their name, so you have to call them persons unknown.
Yeah.
But this ruling essentially says the defendant is restrained from, because this is a court ruling, is restrained from placing any material from the impacted database at any location on the internet.
Yep.
So they've already breached that because it's on the dark web.
Yep.
Transmitting, publishing, or disclosing any of the impacted data set to any person or facilitating such steps. Using the impacted data set or information from it already in their possession for any purpose other than obtaining legal advice. Promoting or publishing any links to locations from which the impacted data set can be or may be available to download. And I read that and I went, I don't really know what that means. I'm not a lawyer. So I put it in ChatGPT and I said, listen, can you have a read of this and then come back to me? I'm going to give you some questions. I want you to kind of act as a media lawyer for me on how I might report on this, on this data. And mate, basically it said the scope of this injunction prohibits any person or entity from publishing the data, as I just said, using any part of the data. And
sharing the data.
And it said the effect of that is even media organisations or social media users who are not involved in the hacking itself could be caught by this order if they post or share any of the exfiltrated material. A breach of the order is punishable by imprisonment or sequestration of property. So I went, holy hell.
So what's your issue with this?
My issue with this is when the Optus hack happened, I downloaded the data.
Yep.
And there was 10,000 records that they released.
Right.
And I was able to verify that what Optus told us was true. It contained this, and this.
Okay.
And I was able to verify,
so you want to check it.
For an individual person, how much information might there be?
Yep.
And then over time, I was able to also use it to go, you know what? Optus is not communicating with their customers very well. I rang people. Because you've got to remember, these 10,000 records were on the internet. This wasn't even the dark web. This was on the internet. So this information is now in the hands of hackers. So I thought Optus should have treated those customers with some serious care.
Absolutely.
And you'll remember this was quite a contentious thing for me and Kelly Bayer Rosmarin, because I said her and her executive should be spending... She should get 100 executives in a room.
Divvy up the list.
Yes, exactly. And call these people, apologise to them and give them advice on what to do next.
And did they?
So I contacted, I think, 3 or 4 people on that list, and I apologised that it was a kind of rude invasion of their privacy, but that I was not going to share their information, but I just wanted to know had they heard from Optus. A couple of people said bugger off. A couple of people said,
really?
I haven't heard from them at all.
They thought you were a hacker.
I didn't know they'd been hacked.
What?
Yeah. So I was blown away by that.
Oh, no.
Now, let me be clear. I do not want to republish the Qantas data. I do not want to share a link to where I got it from or where you can find it. I do not want to name any names that are in it. I'm not from the Daily Mail. I don't want to even list high-profile people that are listed in it.
Oh, yeah. There'll be a few of those.
I want to verify what information is in there, how it is displayed, and what a hacker can do with it. Because we kept getting asked from media organisations, what does this mean? What happens?
Well, my response to that was that, according to Qantas anyway, what was released was, name, address, phone numbers, things you can't change. You can't change your name or your date of birth, right? So my response was, well, they're going to try craft these sort of scam emails that are going to look pretty personal, and you think, geez, this must be real if they know that much.
But you know
about
what
them.
else is in that list? Meal preferences.
Yeah.
So I want to know. I want to look at the data.
They're going to be targeting gluten ads at you. Yeah.
Exactly my point.
Yeah,
I want to see the data set so I can understand even if there's only 10,000 people who have meal preferences in there, what does it say so that you can be on the lookout for a scammer who uses that bit of information?
Yeah.
Because does it just say kosher, or does it just say gluten free, or does it say something like
vegetarian or something?
Is celiac, and what does it say?
Yeah, right.
Because that's the information that hackers are going to use, scammers are going to use now.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think it is outrageous. That journalists can't view that information. I think it's outrageous.
But can't you refer to the information?
No, I'm not allowed to look at the file.
Really? So that's illegal just for you to look at it?
I thought it was illegal for me to look at the file,
publish it or report on it.
It's illegal for me to
just for you to open the file as against the law.
Correct.
Wow. So do you think though this is Qantas's way of trying to create a legal case against anyone if someone reports an email saying, hang on, I've got a scam email here, So does that give Qantas a case to if they want to decide to go after that person? So okay, you're busted.
Absolutely. But Troy Hunt is the guy that runs. He's an unbelievable security nerd. He runs the website Have I Been Pawned? You know, the one that you search for yourself and everything.
Yeah.
I published that article yesterday about Qantas. He published a very similar article, to be honest, on either earlier
about
than me
not being able to use the detail.
Correct. Yeah. Because see, what Troy wants to do is he wants to download the file.
Yeah.
And then
warn people.
Put it into his database so that when you search for your email address, it'll say you were part of the Qantas hack.
Yeah.
He doesn't share the information. He doesn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
But he allows people to know they were part of the hack.
Wouldn't customers, like, I've got a right to my own data.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I be able to check that if I'm part of that?
Well, you can't because Troy Hunt's not going to make that information available. He's scared shitless.
Qantas has made it illegal for anyone, including myself, who I am a Qantas customer.
I'm on the list
from looking at it.
Yeah.
So if I want to find out the severity of the breach of their own data breach, it's illegal for me to do that.
In Qantas's defence, they have communicated with impacted customers and told them to what extent they are a victim.
Okay.
But how do we verify that? So we just look. I've got no reason.
So you're saying you don't want to take Qantas's word. You want to verify for yourself.
I've got no reason not to believe them.
Yeah.
But in what world did we suddenly just believe everything a company says?
No, well, that's our job to verify and check stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
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 You know, Troy. I'm trying to find the piece where Troy made this great point. He goes, he talked about like who does this matter to, and it was something along the lines of, you know what. Criminals don't care about a Supreme Court.
Of course not.
People who... Oh, here it is. The injunction is only effective against people who meet the following criteria. People who know there's an injunction.
Yeah.
Did you know there was an injunction?
No. I would have got busted.
People who are law-abiding and people in Australia. That's
true.
the only people this affects.
Yeah. Wow.
So why create this injunction?
The hackers are going to look at that and go, good luck.
So, Stephen, if I hadn't have told you this and you got let's say you got a DM that said, mate, just so you know, the Qantas data is here to download. I reckon you would have clicked download.
Yeah, would have.
I reckon you would have downloaded it.
Yeah,
I reckon you would have searched. You would have gone, here's a story. I'm going to write a story about this.
Yeah.
And I reckon you got a legal letter from Qantas.
You'd be bailing me out.
How would you know that there's an injunction?
Wow.
Now, I know there's an injunction because I said to Channel 9, I said, listen, I've got the dark web link. I've got these pictures. Do you want to use them? And they go, no, we're not touching it with a barge pole.
Wow. Oh, because they
know there's an injuction.
Oh, right. So they knew, but you didn't. So how do they know? Did they send a press release or something out to you?
I don't know. Qantas has mentioned it. Qantas say they've mentioned it on their website, that they're keeping people up to date and they've put an injunction out against the use of the data.
Wow.
But why?
Yeah.
What?
To what end? What does that achieve?
The thing is,
I'm thinking it's going to give them potentially a legal case against anyone of the hackers.
Of course. So, but that's my point is.
But how are they going to catch them? Like, good luck. Like, where are they?
Well, at some point, hopefully, the Australian Federal Police will catch them.
Yeah.
And hopefully this injunction helps them prove why they should be fined or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But why does the injunction not cite just the people who are responsible? So it should be against people who performed the hack or were complicit in the hack or the cover-up of the information previously. Like, it should be a bit more specific.
But good luck, you know what? Imagine this scenario, right? Say I decided, well, stuff them. I want to see exactly how much data of mine they've got.
Yeah.
And Qantas said, you're busted, right? I said, well, sue me, mate. Sue me. How are they going to win that case? Like, it's my data. And it's your fault that it's out there.
Yeah.
Your fault that it's out there, and the data's about me. So how is that legal? How are you going to enforce that? Which judge is going to find against me for looking at my own data?
Yeah, but judge will just go, mate, you're in breach of an injunction. And you'll be like, how did I know there was an injunction?
But the logic isn't there, mate. The logic is, why shouldn't I be able to do it? No way in the world. It's, you know what? They're a victim. They're the one. It's their fault that my data's out there, right? It's my data. So I'm looking at stuff about myself, and that's illegal. Go figure.
Isn't it wild?
That's crackers.
And so, and I think so. And I said in my article, look, I'm not a journalist. I'm a reporter or a commentator. You're a journalist. You're trained as a journalist. I'm not, but I'm as close as I'll ever get to it in this situation where I'm just trying to. I'm trying to understand the story better. I'm the one getting the bloody phone calls about it.
Absolutely, yeah, that's right. Wow.
Yeah,
that is absolutely beyond. That's beyond belief. That.
Anyway,
crazy world.
That's my rant about Qantas. And look, the fact is, the warning here is, if you've been getting those notes from Qantas and you're part of the thing, you are now not just likely to, you are going to get, because when
they're going to try and monetize this
when
data,
a scammer gets access to a database of 5.7 million people, they'll use it.
Oh, yeah.
They're using it. Don't worry about that.
It won't be just emails. It could be calls too. Like, mate, someone could call and say, I'm from Qantas. Mr. Fennec, I see you're a platinum member. I see you got a trip coming up soon. Would you like to? And you'd be thinking, sure, yeah.
So there's two types of things you've got to be worried about. First one is flight related. So text messages, emails, calls that suggest that there's a problem with your upcoming flight. Can you click here to update your details, right? Yeah. And you put in your Qantas details and password, and then you've handed that over, right?
Yeah.
Boom, gone. The second one is completely unrelated scams that just use the information. Like, you're a celiac. We've got great deals on gluten-free food in your area. Sign up here, and you'll get free access for a year. Because we want to find a data, mate. My wife will click that in an instant. Going, gluten-free food is expensive.
Yeah, right.
Mate, your bills go from $200 a week to $400 a week at the grocery store when you're celiac. So trust me, you'll take any offer.
Lucky
so if they see that,
very well, yeah.
If they see that,
I know.
They'll use that as a different type of scam.
They're very shrewd how they'll use that data. They'll work it out, and you know what? They'll use AI to craft, really.
Imagine
it
has in my profile that I always want the window, and I get an email saying from now on you've got to pay double for the window. I'm going to click whatever I have to click to get that. Like, I want the window. Yeah. Like, I'm just saying, the things they can do with this information.
But they can even, offer you extra points. If you're a frequent flyer, you're thinking, point status, bloody oath, I'll take that.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways, probably ways we haven't even thought of, that this data can be used against us. So whether it's an email, a phone call, whatever it is.
Unlike Medibank and Optus, in which cases the data did not make it out. It never got released because we think, remember, was the Medibank one? They found the person.
Yeah.
Optus, they never did, but I think they got scared out of their wits. Yes. So I think they went running. But in this case, the data's gone.
Data's out there, baby. Yeah. Wow.
It's done.
And you're not allowed to look at it.
Nope. No one. Don't look at the data.
Don't look at it. Mate, I would have clicked the hell out of that if someone said, here's all the Qantas data, check it out.
Exactly.
Yep. Click away.
All right. Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
And we do it all thanks to the great people at Netgear, netgear.com.au for all the information you need about networking in your home. And continually getting calls and emails from people. Every week on the EFGM podcast, I have another listener who is interested in getting the better speeds on the NBN. Had one this week who is getting double gigabit, so 2 gigabit speeds. But they realised that the little modem that came with their internet provider, it's not going to cut it. So recommended a Netgear Orbi, and they are going to get the best speeds, because it's all well and good to have 2,000 megabit per second internet, but if your Wi-Fi can't handle that, what's the point of having that extra cost? So it's an extra $60 a month in some cases for that level of speed. Why would you pay for that when you can only get 500 or maybe even 1,000 on your Wi-Fi? No matter what speed you're on, you want a Wi-Fi network that can handle it, and you can get that from Netgear. Find Netgear at major retailers. Look for the Orbi brand of mesh system, and you'll get the very best that's available for your home and your internet. And you can find out more at netgear.com.au.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennec.
All right, Stephen, I've gone.
Mate, I've never heard more about a toaster than this one you're about to talk about.
You mean this one?
Oh, my God.
Mate, what about
attention to detail today.
I had the B-roll.
Can we still talk over the top of this?
There's no sound.
Yeah, wow.
So for the YouTube viewers, you're seeing it. For the audio viewers, listeners, sorry, you're missing out.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I got invited to a briefing at Breville, and I got to tell you, on the day before, I looked at my diary and went, I'm going to cancel that, because why would I drive to the city to go and see about a toaster? I legit nearly cancelled.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I said to them, I openly sighed. I went, oh, what am I doing here? Like, what? I've driven all this. What am I doing here? And they go, just give us 20 minutes of your time. And this lovely engineer was passionate about this project that they have been working on for 10 years.
Wow.
10 years.
Takes a while, eh?
It's a toaster that uses optical sensors to measure colour instead of toasting via time.
Yeah.
And the best way I've been able to explain this in short terms has been take a frozen bit of white bread,
Yes.
And a fresh bit of white bread. And if you put it on number 2.5 on your normal toaster, the frozen bit's going to come up barely defrosted.
Cooked. Yes.
And the other one's going to come up perfectly brown.
Yep.
If you then put in a fruit toast, it's going to be burnt at the same number.
Yeah, raisin toast.
Put in
quick.
some sourdough, not going to even look brown because it needs longer. This toaster uses optical sensors to look at the toast. It has 7 measurements of colour. So you choose your increment and you go, well, I like it to be, on level 3.
Well, how do you like your toast?
I've worked out on this one, I'm level 2 to 3. 3 to 4, sorry. So middle.
Okay.
And they reckon 70% of people are straight down the middle. Really? Golden brown
what
middle.
What a surprise.
And the thing is, mate, it's replicable. So every time you do it, it comes up looking the same. And it's easy because if your kids go, I'm going to go down to level 1 or level 2, when you go to toast yours, you click the middle one again and you're off.
Okay.
Now, the elephant in the room. The 2-slice version of this is $400 and something. The 4-slice version is $630.
Okay.
It's a very expensive toaster.
Is it ever?
But it's also, here's the thing, and there's a bunch of settings for sourdough, for crumpets and all that stuff.
We like sourdough at our place. And you're right, you need 2 dips. Well, you got to put it down a couple of times.
What you do is I think you push and hold the play button and it goes into sourdough mode.
Oh.
So it
sourdough mode.
Yeah, mate, there's a sourdough mode.
Unbelievable.
100%. But
I just looked through I wasn't invited to this meeting, so I just looked through my emails.
You would Google that.
Yeah, I did check.
The interesting thing about this, I looked at, so when you pull the tray out of, I'll lose the B-roll now because we've had
the
enough.
B-roll's enough, mate.
You pull the tray out of the bottom of a toaster to get the crumbs out.
Crumbs everywhere.
But then you look in the toaster, it's still got crumbs in it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because and do this, folks, pull the bottom out and then look through the toaster. And there's not a direct hole because there's kind of grates in there.
Yeah.
You know why the grates are there? To stop you being able to put your fingers in the toaster from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
This one doesn't have that. Ooh. You pull the grate out, it's all the way down because the grate has a sensor in it that stops the toaster working if the tray's not in.
Smart.
Which also means that when you pull the tray out, you're getting all the crumbs. There's no crumbs in the toaster. There's nowhere for it to stay.
Yeah,
and then the top is ceramic and wipes down.
So hang on, the 2-slice one's how much? $430. And the 4-slice is what?
$630.
What?
Yeah.
Do you reckon other companies be reverse engineering the hell out of this? And
mate, I've got no doubt that there will be some Chinese factory pumping out.
There'll be in Kmart
sensors.
at Christmas for $50.
But let's be real. This technology isn't. It's not cheap.
It's not going to change the world, but you know what? It's practical because how many people have toast? I have toast a lot. Do you have toast a lot?
Yeah.
So, mate, it'd be something you'd use.
I think it's awesome. Now they kind of admit that this is not something they think people are going to rush out and buy. Yeah. But if you're redoing your kitchen, buying new appliances, and you're getting the best of everything, if you're getting Miele this and Smeg that and whatever,
straight in there,
why wouldn't you get this?
Of course not. Yeah, of course.
It's spectacular. So weird thing to be even talking about.
Yeah.
But honestly, very, very cool.
Fantastic.
Very, very cool.
Real quickly before we finish up, I did have a quick look at the TCL Next Paper Tablet. Tablet with a difference. There's so many Android tablets out there. This has got the new Next Paper 4.0 technology. And there's actually 3 modes. Did you ever review the phone that they made, the paper?
Yeah.
And so you can actually, it's got its normal colour mode. And it's, by the way, got a matte finish, so no fingerprints. But they've got the proper colour mode, which looks amazing. Then there's a mode button at the top. You press that, and then you get colour paper mode. So it's like the colour e-readers now.
Yep.
Then you press it again, you get the black and white e-ink mode. So it's like your Kindle, like your Kobo or whatever.
Which also saves battery big time.
Saves battery massively, but also too, it's all about eye comfort as well. Like TCL's very big on.
What's TikTok like on e-paper mode, e-ink mode?
I have not looked at it on e-paper mode.
It'd be pretty weird.
Yeah. But it's all about sort of the eye comfort.
Health,
and that's where you think about it, right? Who uses tablets a lot? Kids.
Yeah.
So if you got a child, or even for yourself, you want to make sure that your child's and your own eyes aren't getting this harm. Ain't no harm they're done by looking at a screen.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what they've done. So no, it's pretty good. It's $5.99. There's a story on Tech Guide about it. But yeah, I think it's a tablet with a difference. It's like 3 products in one. So if you want to buy an e-reader, you can buy that. Or you can buy this and have the e-reader, the colour e-reader, and the normal tablet.
Yeah.
And it comes with a case and also comes with a stylus as well.
Giddy up.
$5.99.
Details at techguide.com.au, folks. As simple as that. All right, Stephen, we've just smashed that out today.
Wow.
Wow.
It's already that time. That's gone quick.
Oh.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, you speak for yourself. All right, we'll be an audio show again only next week because we're in San Francisco, but we'll be back again the week after and through till Christmas.
Just use our phones?
Not doing that.
No, okay. We did it in Berlin, remember? We were in Berlin, we did it.
Oh, I'm not bringing a second tripod, so...
Oh, I can bring it.
Okay, bring a tripod.
If you
we
want
don't know what the hotel's going to look like. We don't know,
Okay.
It could be worth it. If you're bringing a big enough bag, bring a tripod with a camera.
Well, I'm checking a bag in, mate.
Right.
Checking a bag in, and I'll tell you why after. I'm checking a bag in. I'm testing out a new bag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Very good. He's got the July bag with the tracker in it.
Ah, is that right? So you're getting one as well.
I've got the Qantas one. It's the same thing.
Ah, a Qantas bag with the tracker.
Yeah, it's a July Qantas bag. They launched it first with Qantas.
Oh, Qantas. So is that the one you got on your jaunt with
yeah,
the...
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
It's just an AirTag built in.
Yeah, no, it's just it's Find My compatible, isn't it? And
it's
Google.
Android, Google as well.
And Google as well.
Yeah.
There
More on that soon, folks. All right, we'll do it all again next week.
Ciao.
Ciao, buddy.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.